President Trump now saying he may veto Congress's sweeping $1.3 trillion omnibus spending bill over immigration issues, including funding for his long proposed and promised border wall, and, of course, a fix for the DACA program, which wasn't even included in the final version of the bill. So what could a veto mean for lawmakers? Chief White House correspondent John Roberts joins us now from the White House with the very latest. All right, John, what's going on?
Julie, good morning to you. You weren't far off. You could call this an omni-mess now. And to say that the White House was blindsided by a tweet that the president set out this morning would be an understatement, threatening to veto the bill. But just 2 days ago, in a meeting with congressional leaders here at the White House, the president signed off on everything that was in and not in the bill. His budget director, Mick Mulvaney, who is as close to the president as anyone, insisting yesterday in an on-camera briefing that the president was going to sign it. Listen here.
Is the president going to sign the bill? The answer is yes. Why? Because it funds his priorities. We've talked for the last, 3, 4, 5, 6 months about trying to get the president's priorities funded, and this omnibus bill does that. And it also does a lot of what we wanted, not everything we wanted, but a lot of what we wanted on immigration. Is it perfect? No. Is it exactly what we asked for in the budget? No. Were we ever going to get that? No. That's not how the process works.
This morning, the president threw a hand grenade into the works, taking to Twitter to say, quote, I am considering a veto of the omnibus spending bill based on the fact that the 800,000 plus DACA recipients have been totally abandoned by the Democrats, not even mentioned in the bill, and the border wall, which is desperately needed for our national defense, is not fully funded. But the president knew all of that 2 days ago. That tweet blew up the Pentagon and the White House. I mean, figuratively speaking here. Defense Secretary James Mattis was on the phone to the president not long after the tweet, trying to talk him out of the idea, stressing that the military would lose all of the big increases that they scored in the omnibus bill, $700 billion in funding. Mattis has been complaining to the president for months and months that the incessant series of continuing resolutions have been strangling the Pentagon. But the president getting some support from some of his Republican colleagues in the Senate. Senator Bob Corker in a tweet saying, please do, Mr. President. I am just down the street and will bring you a pen. The spending levels without any offsets are grotesque, throwing all of our children under the bus, totally irresponsible. And Corker and the president don't agree on a lot. We should point that out. Senator Rand Paul saying, I agree that President Trump should veto this sad excuse for legislation because it's $1.3 trillion in spending that almost no one read. The prevailing view around Washington is that it would be a political disaster for the president to veto this bill because there's no question that the government would shut down. And with most members of Congress out of town and Congress in recess, the government would be shut down for days, and the sole responsibility for that would fall on the president's shoulders. I've talked to a lot of Republicans up on Capitol Hill. What they think is going on here is that the president is just trying to get some political distance from some of the things that he doesn't like in the bill, also remind people of things that are not in the bill that he wanted in the bill, and then hold his nose and sign it before he takes off to Mar-a-Lago this afternoon. And Julie, one other thing that's bubbling up again today here at the White House, the pending departure, as we're hearing, of VA Secretary David Shulkin. This was on a hot boil last week, sort of went down to a cool simmer, but now it's boiling up again. Hearing various reports from sources that we're talking to that he could be gone as soon as today, maybe not for a few days. Julie?
Okay, well, stay on top of that and the omni-mess. We appreciate it.